Business World, 3 August 2023, Belligerent China is attempting to improve its reputation by proposing joint drills, according to Philippine analysts. Numerous Philippine islands are currently under Chinese occupation. China has also been intimidating the Philippine Navy and claiming oceans that are not theirs under the excuse of the 9-line. Geopolitical observers said on Thursday that China's proposal to conduct joint military drills with the Philippines appeared to be an effort to improve its reputation after growing international criticism of its South China Sea ambitions. Don McLean-Gill, a foreign relations professor at De La Salle University in Manila, stated in a Facebook Messenger chat that its disregard for international law raises questions about its aims. Due to Beijing's unwavering regional goals, he continued, conducting such exercises with China will neither improve trust nor deepen strategic ties. The Chinese embassy in Manila did not immediately answer a Viber message asking for comment. China has been urged by the United States and the European Union to uphold an arbitral decision in 2016 that invalidated the Philippines' claim to more than 80% of the contentious waterway and to adhere to an international order based on rules. According to Mr. Gill, China's suggestion is only centered on improving public opinion in light of its ongoing aggression in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. It's comparable to the successful visit that was conducted a few months ago. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang met in Manila at the end of April and decided to expand their lines of communications. A day following the meeting, however, there was a close call between a Chinese Coast Guard ship and a Philippine patrol boat carrying journalists. Mr. Gill states, the defense establishment continues to be wary of the growing threats China poses to Philippine sovereignty and sovereign rights. Such a concept was indeed broached but never implemented, even during the administration of former President Rodrigo R. Duterte, who was primarily conciliatory to Beijing. Representative Arlene Abrasas, a party list representative, claimed that continuing military drills with China could jeopardize Philippine sovereignty and perpetuate the unequal power dynamics in the region. She said, given the ongoing territorial disputes and the history of regional tensions, we cannot allow these proposed military exercises to succeed. In the South China Sea, where Chinese ships have continued to operate, their ties with the Philippines have become more difficult, creating a hostile environment, she noted. On July 26, at a commemoration of the 96th anniversary of the People's Liberation Army near the Philippine capital, Chinese ambassador to the Philippines Huang Zilian made an informal request to General Romeo Bronner Jr., Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The military leader stated he was not excluding military drills with China a day after the incident. He said on DZBB radio, our president's outlook is that we are friends with all and adversaries with none. For China, military diplomacy is all about hegemony. According to Mr. Bronner Jr., the government was also open to conducting joint exercises with Vietnam, which also asserts territorial claims in the South China Sea. Lucio B. Pitlo III, a research fellow at the Asia-Pacific Pathways to Progress Foundation, mentioned China's expanding military diplomacy in the Asia-Pacific area. He said China's bilateral drills with Cambodia, Singapore, and Laos in April and May. In addition, he said, China is getting ready for an unprecedented six-nation multilateral exercise in October with Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. This demonstrates that Southeast Asian nations are still willing to work with China on security issues despite disagreements over the Mekong River or the South China Sea, he added via messenger conversation. Pitlo said China's cooperative exercises with South China Sea littoral states may focus more on humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, and search and rescue operations. Chinese defense cooperation with the Philippines should be permitted, according to Chester B. Cabalsa, creator of the Manila-based International Development and Security Cooperation, as long as Filipino leaders and the military will remain vigilant and will not compromise our sovereignty rights. He cited the president's call for the Philippines to become a friend to all and an enemy to none in a messenger discussion, saying that military exercises with foreign powers should extend to non-traditional partners and not just defense treaty allies. According to Mr. Cabalsa, the Philippines should be able to bridge differences as a middle power in the region if it serves its interests. If it does, perhaps the Philippines will act as a peace and order broker for the region thanks to our strategic location. He suggested that, to further de-escalate tensions in the Indo-Pacific region, China, the Philippines, and other countries with South China Sea claims should learn to coexist in the waterway. Romuald C. Banlay, chairman of the Philippine Institute for Peace, Violence, and Terrorism Research, said in a separate briefing that the Philippines should strike a balance in its relations with the U.S. and China, noting that the military ties between the two nations are weakest with China, but strongest with the U.S. According to Michael R. Garcia, a political economy professor at the University of Asia and the Pacific, the U.S. and China should convince one another that no risks exist. Find it threatening as China attempts to strengthen its economy and security, and as the U.S. also strengthens its position in the South China Sea. China finds that threatening.